And Kadoma's not even here. Happy Mother's Day and welcome to Sports Rap Live Sunday Wrap Up, everybody, from Junction Bar and Grill in the shadow of downtown Houston, Texas, where they have some pretty good bar food. They have a beautiful wait staff, coldest drinks around, and 42 screens of live sports action, and of course the Trilla Sports Talk on air. You guys can jump on the line. If you want to shout out your own mother on Mother's Day, you can do so. Or if you want to get in on some of the sports talk we got going on tonight on Sports Rap Live, you can do so by calling the Silverleaf Ghost Pepper hotline at 713-212-5790 as we take you around the world of sports, sounds, and sneakers. And as always, it is brought to you by Diamond Supply Co. and DiamondSupplyCo.com. Of course, it says it on the shirt, in our hearts we treasure the Diamond life. And we do here on Sports Rap Live. Whether you've never even worn a Diamond Supply t-shirt and you still wear that old vintage Cleveland Indians shirt that you wear every other show, or you got a brand new t-shirt right out of the bag, or you're fresh to death, like my man Bun B, who's here tonight on a very special appearance. Know it's a big day in the trillionaire household when Mother's Day comes around.
Always, but you know, this is part of her gift, is me leaving.
There you go. Well said. It is Shout Out Sunday, so we'll shout out the queen right here, and all the queens around the world who have taken care of their kids and raised good people that we work with here. We'll be sending some more personalized shout outs later on in the show. DJ Tito,
yes,
I know you've been busy all weekend doing your thing, man.
Man, non-stop, all we go. Here we go.
Yep, better late than never. We're on the air. We're on Sports Talk 790 and iHeartRadio.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because we are the Trillist on radio.
Is it really? Already? Well, that's Andrew Martinez. He's ready to go to break. How about that, huh? Well, hey, I'm sure you gave your mom a card, right, Andrew? Did you give?
No, I did not give her a card.
Okay, all right. Well,
I made her lunch.
Ah,
even better.
Nice.
What says Happy Mother's Day than grilling some flank steaks?
But you didn't get her like a card or flowers or none of that?
No, not really. I see my mom almost every week. I told her I loved her, gave her a big hug. We talked for a while. I don't really think a card's that big of a deal. It's just a card. I mean, I think spending time with my mom is more important than a card.
Are you an only child?
No.
Do the other kids give her cards?
I think my sister gave her a card. To me, I don't think a card's that big of a deal.
That's I just wanted to know.
I really don't think it's. I have a great relationship with my mom. I really don't think a card's that big of a deal. That's just me. I don't.
Well, hey,
I guess as you say, you see her all the time and
you
tell her you love her. But Mother's Day is her day, Andrew.
Oh, I know it's her day.
It's her day, Andrew.
Yes.
You should have went to church for her today, Andrew.
No. I'm sure she prayed for me.
We're all praying for you.
Okay.
Daily.
Well, look, man, speaking of writing letters or sending a card, Chad Ochocinco spent his time writing an open letter to the world supporting Roger Goodell in a time of turmoil, as some would say, in the NFL, and in a week where thousands came to pay their respects to Junior Seau and over 1,800 former players. It's been reported that 1,800 of these players have now joined or partnered up with other ex-NFL employees on this lawsuit, basically on the concussion rules or concussion issues in the NFL.
It's definitely interesting. I don't know where that lawsuit's headed. I mean, we live in a very litigious society these days. If anything, it brings attention to it, and I think that's the main focus of the lawsuit and all this, is just to bring attention to the issue at hand.
Yeah,
that from the player's side at least.
I don't think it's an intent to actually sue and try to really bring down some kind of strong litigation against the league. I think it's just a matter of trying to make the league aware. If the league's willing to make a few adjustments, I'm sure they'll drop the suit. It's not a big deal, but I think that they just want to be heard in this issue. That being said, Roger Goodell is not the kind of person that likes to be backed into a corner either. So, it'll be interesting, as Andrew says, to watch how this thing fleshes out. But, I mean, with a legend like Junior Seau and his whole situation, I think now was the time to do it, to make this move. And, the lawsuit, I think, opens up the argument, not so much in the sports world, but to the layperson who really doesn't understand, what's really happening behind the scenes in the NFL and with players trying to transition, back into, kind of normal society after being a warrior. It's almost like post-traumatic syndrome for people that come home from combat, soldiers that come home from combat.
That's why I think that you're not going to see this lawsuit dropped. I think a lot of these players or ex-players are going to say, F that, I'm getting my money. If I have an opportunity to get a little bit of money for my family before I do pass away early, if that's the case, if that's what we're finding more and more. Now, there's been conflicting reports this week because you had the NFL come out and say no players are actually living longer on the average. But then again, of course, they've taken precautions, so that's naturally going to happen. I just thought it was interesting that Chad Ochocinco, of all people, was kind of the first guy to step up and say, hey, man, the guy's got a lot going on right now. You can't just slam him on Twitter and slam him on Facebook and in interviews before you really look at the big picture on what he's doing to try to make Chad's life and the guys that come up after Chad's life a little bit longer and a little bit healthier. So shout out to Chad Ochocinco. I thought that was really interesting. One guy who has yet to take a big boy hit in the NFL is Andrew Luck. And he was in H-Town over the weekend for a very special event downtown. And from football to football, when later Soccer Talker Luis jumps on with us for all the news from around the pitch, he is going to give you his review firsthand, up close and personal, of the entire Forever Orange experience. And it started with the tailgate and ended with the tailgate right out there in the lots A, B, and C on the other side of Minute Maid Park by 59.
I really wanted to go to this thing. Soccer Talk Louise was nice enough to secure me a ticket, and then somebody reminded me that if I tried to go to this thing by myself, I probably would only see a very small bit of the game and a lot of camera flashes.
Well,
sometimes I can, sometimes it's cool. I can prepare myself, but soccer crowd is a different animal altogether, and I don't know if I really wanted to.
Hooligan, as they say.
Well, not just that. They're going to be very excitable, I guess is the term. Very excitable. But I love all my supporters, and I know everybody had a good time out there.
Well, Bun, the one thing you've done on Sports Rap Live, you've gone from supporter and fan of the show to executive producer, and now becoming more and more part of the on-air talent on the show. You are secured a Sports Rap Live press box spot going forward. Anything that we get credentialed for, if you're going to be on air, you're going to be out there covering it.
Well, I mean, first of all, thank you. I appreciate that as your executive producer. And it's not like I don't sit in, it's not like I only want to go if I can sit in the suite or anything. I sit in.
The press box is no suite. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bunch of sweaty photographers on a hot summer day watching soccer. So
also like Sports Rap Live then.
Pretty much. Although they have the working press room where all the food is, all the photographers, and then the press box.
Breaking news: there are no adult beverages anywhere near the vicinity.
I was going to ask, how adult do the beverages get at a soccer stadium? Because that seems like a lively enough crowd.
They're about 24 ounces and about this tall, Bun, and they come in big cans like this, and they say Bud Light on them.
And they say lime or
you
lemon.
You ever had one of those? A Bud Light?
I'm not a beer drinker, so where does it go from there?
Budweiser.
Yeah, Budweiser.
Bud Light or Budweiser?
I'm not going there. I'm going to let him go there. I'm not going there.
Well, I'm just telling you, that's all I heard being ordered yesterday at the event. So.
All right. Well, let's quit talking liquor.
Okay. All right. Do you need a drink, by the way?
Yeah.
Because we are here at Junction Bar and Grill, ladies and gentlemen, 160 West Gray for Sports Rap Live. We got up to a little bit of a late start tonight. We're going to keep it rolling. And right on time, the Dynamo got to a beautiful start at home at the BBVA Compass Bank. So Luis is going to join us. Got some world soccer to talk about. I know Man City, Man U was huge today. Non-soccer fans are talking about this game. So we'll have you break it all down, Luis, and tell us a little bit about who you talked to after the game as well. Maybe even get some of those interviews played here on air. So you guys stay tuned. That'll be at 8:45. And as always, we're keeping our eye on the diamond as we take you around the world of Major League Baseball. Andrew Martinez was here early working on show notes tonight because he's got the power rankings, the SRL Major League Baseball power rankings for the week, his top 5 teams. Speaking of power rankings, Josh Hamilton is on another level as far as power rankings goes. 18 home runs through 34 games. He's on pace to hit 84 home runs, I believe.
That obviously won't happen, but I mean, he's on a ridiculous pace. He's doing crazy things right now with his baseball bat. He's just another world, another level. I'm not even sure that explains the kind of tear and the level that he's on right now, but definitely a force to be reckoned with, and we're going to be seeing him come to Houston about a week from now.
And we will be out there covering the game.
Yes, we will.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
Now, do I need to put in for my press pass now for that, or how does that work?
Oh, well, we'll have to work on that Monday morning, sir. I'll have to shout out Chris Gordy and make sure that you're taken care of for that.
Well, I mean, I got Stroh's tickets. I'll just go, and then I'll just,
I want to see
text
Bun
one
B.
of you guys or something.
I want to see Bun B covering the game.
I definitely don't have to worry about being bum rushed at an Astros game. So
well, that's just true. That's true.
I'll take more pictures.
Well, it's going to be the Rangers versus the Astros, so who knows if the whole state might show up. And might all be Rangers fans at that.
Wouldn't that be sad if for once Rangers fan actually came and filled up seats? Because, you know, Cardinal fans and, you know, Cubs fans, they come
this
out.
happens on the reg.
Well, of course, when you only have 700 people,
right,
any other fan base is going to outweigh your team. So, I mean, that's just how it is at Minute Maid Park now, and it's sad. And they really didn't look that good on the road either.
Well, I'm still go Stros.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still go
Of
Stros.
course. Of course.
If Andrew Martinez is down with him, that means it ain't over yet.
That is true. That is true. We're shooting for 500, remember? That's our big goal.
I'm shooting for 400.
Are you? Is that your goal, 400?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm shooting for Valentine to make it to All-Star break. That's what
That
I'm
is true.
We'll
That
see
is
about
true.
that.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you know, they come out and they win big today, and you never really,
Who are they
really
playing?
know. We can kill it if.
And who are the Red Sox playing
Why don't
today?
you tell us who they're playing?
What is it? Urban Dictionary to see what that is.
A Cleveland Flopbuster?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. We'll have to look that up.
Okay.
It sounds dirty.
All right, we'll shout it out later on when you get the exact definition. Hey, an old Yankee returns, and I don't know, man. You know, it's going to take him a little bit. He's been off for a year and a half. We're talking about Andy Pettit, of course, but he was back and kind of got sprayed around the field a little bit by the.
For that Yankees team, he's gonna run himself into a lot of wins. Most of it because that offense is so good, and he's gonna get so much run support. So. There's a lot going on with the Coliseum.
How'd their football team do last year? Oh, that's right. They don't have an NFL franchise.
Well, you were there at one point.
What's that?
We were there.
Just a little rib shot.
They could have an NFL team
Magic
before you know
Johnson's
it.
going to own Los Angeles in our lifetime. At one
I think
point.
he already does.
Yeah, he owns the Lakers, I think. He owns the
I think
baseball team. He'll own the football
I think
team.
there's going to be a team in LA probably within the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's either the Chargers or the Rams or I'm hearing
It's
not the Jags,
Vikings.
but it could be the Jags. You never know with the Vikings though, even though they had the legislation.
I've heard rumblings. I won't say more than that. On
Insider
the
status, Bun B.
But
See, that's why we
I've
need
heard
NFL
rumblings.
insider status.
I've heard rumblings, and it's going to be the timing of the team in LA coming out is going to be one thing, but I think the ownership is going to be interesting too. So just
You also have to factor in that LA fan probably.
After those Yeezy 2 drops, he could probably go buy an NFL
Well, you also have to
team.
factor in that LA, LA
never
fan.
know.
I'm not sure that they want an NFL team. They might be happy just watching all the good games. They don't have a blackout rule there. They get to watch doubleheaders on each channel, every week. They don't have a blackout rule there.
It's called the Red Zone Channel.
Yeah, I agree.
That's pretty much it.
Just keep your eyes open for pigskin in LA.
Okay.
That's all
Well,
I
hey,
said.
you heard it here first. I don't think Bun B is going to report anything that he really doesn't have a pretty good idea is going to happen. So we will keep our eye on that. We're keeping an eye on all the sports action tonight on Sports Talk 790. We're going to go a little bit overtime tonight. So if you're tuned in now, ride with us until after 10 p.m. Hey, we got to talk some of the East too. Miami Heat comes out. And without Chris Bosh, who hurt his abdominal or had an abdominal strain apparently, took care of business against Indianapolis, and I think Indiana, they gave them everything they had. The Pacers, they came to play.
That's as close as the Pacers team is going to come to a road win in Miami. They had Bosh out. They looked like they had something going on there early, but they just could not close it out at the end of the game. They really seemed like they couldn't find their offense. Just sloppy play, sloppy passes at the end. I'm not sure they're going to get another game that they're going to find that kind of chance at them.
That fourth quarter was like the antithesis of the entire first three quarters. I mean, just as good and as strong as they played against those guys in the first half and the third quarter of that game was just as bad as they played. And then the Heat, the Heat could have probably won this game by 10 or 12 points. They could really, they kind of just like, no big deal.
They kind of slowed the game down is what they did.
No big deal.
They didn't get out and run like they have been.
But
they played
again,
playoff basketball.
But like Andrew said, Bosh wasn't in. This was the best shot they had of stealing one, I think. So it doesn't look good for those guys right now. I feel like this one took the wind out of them. I think they're going to get stepped on in the next game. And then, I think they're going to defer these first two already. And they're trying to hope that they can maybe do something in Indiana. But I don't know. I think it's already over, personally.
If this goes 6, I would honestly be a little bit surprised.
That would be 2 home wins. That would definitely be 2 home wins for the Pacers.
Well, the Pacers could beat the Heat at home. The Heat aren't some team that's like immaculate at home.
They've been
known to trip up. They've been known to trip up here and there.
They could have beat the Heat today.
Yeah, they could have.
The Heat are also at the point when Bosh is healthy, when they pick and choose what games they want to show up and play. I mean, they really do. They have that luxury now.
Right.
They can take a game off. They did it against the Knicks, Bun. We saw that.
Yeah.
They took the night off. We're going to get into that more in the rap sheet. I promise you that. And we're on a collision course for the Kurt Russell series in hockey. You just mentioned the Kings. As the Stanley Cup playoffs roll on, we get closer and closer to that matchup for Lord Stanley's Cup. And you could have L.A. and New York trying to escape with the Cup. Get that? Get it? Kurt Russell?
I got it.
All right. Thank you very much. They're going to have to go through Jersey and Phoenix to do so. So we will touch a little bit about on the NHL. It is Shout Out Sundays, man. We're going to get into our shout outs. So for all things sports, sounds, and sneakers, hit us up on Twitter. And if you can't get through on the Ghost Pepper hotline, at Sports Rap Live, that's rap with 2 P's. Why is that, Tito?
Because 2 P's are better than 1.
That is true. That is true. And follow the show on Facebook at Sports Rap Live, rap with 2 P's. Or you can go to sports790.com to hear all the audio podcasts, which are posted immediately after the show. Shout out to Terrence for getting that up tonight. If you don't mind, we'll send everybody on the West Coast out there who couldn't catch us live to check that out, man. And we'll get into some of the shout outs. I'm going to let the Rap Pack shout out Mom tonight at the end of the show. So you guys stick around. When we get back, we'll open up the rap sheet brought to you by BC Smoke Shop. Talk some NBA playoff basketball right here on Sports Talk 790, Sports Rap Live.